traveled east, over the mountains and into the vast deserts of broken lands. As the days passed, my companion told me of himself, that he had once been a great warrior, and that a dark and secret burden now weighed heavily upon him. We traveled for an eternity across that arid wasteland. How long? I couldn't say. And always, a dark cloud seemed to follow us just over the horizon. Finally, the journey ended. We climbed the last bridge. There below us lay our destination. The shining jewel, Loot Lane, with a great sea beyond. We made camp that last night. Perhaps it was the warm desert wind or the sound of the ocean, but for the first time in many weeks, I slept. However, the dreams returned, but these were clearly not my own. I beheld a vision of a great man, the mage, Talrasha. You were there too, Tyrael. I remember seeing you in my dream. His brethren had cornered a great demon, Baal, Lord of Destruction, who had been set loose upon the world. They attempted to imprison the demon within a sacred stone. Yet when their attempts failed, Talrasha selflessly volunteered to contain the demon within himself, completing the prison. He instructed his brethren to bind him within a tomb, buried under the sand, there to wrestle with the demon for all eternity.
Now you know what I seek, Marius. This is my brother. Sleep now. We set out with the dawn.
The next morning, we walked over the hill toward Loot Lane. I had no idea then of the horrors that were in store for me there.
Hello. Greetings, honored traveler. I am Jaren, Lord of Loot Lane, and I bid you welcome to my fair port city. I am glad to know that once again, caravans are free to travel through the Western Pass. For some time now, we have been under siege by an evil power that I cannot identify. Strange, it all began when a dark wanderer came this way, looking for the tomb of Talrasha. No one knows exactly where Talrasha, keeper of Baal, is entombed, but it is certain to be far out in the desert. Now my people whisper tales of the dead rising from their tombs, and horrible creatures lurking amongst the moonlit dunes. Even I have witnessed things which I cannot explain. I've ordered the port closed and all trade ships moored until I am sure that my city is safe. Atma, the tavern keeper, has an important mission for you. Go see her immediately. You'll find her on the other side of town. Now I must return to the palace. I apologize, but I can't invite you in. Things are rather a mess right now. Even though he was once a bandit, I permitted Elzix to take over the Desert Rain Inn. He has been quite civilized ever since. For trade in magic and the like, see Drognin or Lysander. Drognin is the wisest man I know, without equal in magic and ancient lore. Poor Lysander is nearly deaf, but he's a reliable potion chemist. For travel back west, see Wariv, whom you already know. Our own Farah is a fine and honest armorer, and she can heal wounds as well. Elzix is the innkeeper, and may also have some items to trade. Grays, the mercenary captain I hired to secure the gates of Lut Gholein, keeps order in town as well. There are others here too. I'm sure you'll meet most of them. Just look around.
Greetings. Mischief is an interesting man. Part of him longs for the freedom of the open seas, yet his heart belongs in his homeland.
I know much about the ancient religions. I was trained as a paladin of Zakarum in the Eastern Koras Temple many years ago. The shrines in the desert are leftover artifacts from the Great Sin War that ravaged these lands almost 1,000 years ago. They still function, but most travelers believe them only to be remnants of the distant past.
Good day. I don't expect this of you, but if you want to help me, I would be grateful. In the sewers below our city, there lurks a horrid creature that hungers for human flesh. The creature has killed many, including my son and my husband. If you destroy it, I will reward you. Please, be careful though. That beast has taken enough from us already. The sewer entrance is through the trapdoor, just up the street. This public house used to be quite lively, until this plague of evil. Luckily, I managed to save away a tidy nest egg. And unfortunately, I couldn't save everything I cared for. The creature makes its lair in the tunnels beneath the city. He butchered my husband and son. I simply cannot bear to talk about it.
Hello. I believe that the creature you refer to is one of the ancient Horadric mummies from the tombs that lie buried beneath the desert sands. It is unusual for one of his kind to be so far away from his resting place. I sense in this entity a restless and malevolent spirit.
The Horadrim used to mummify their highest mages and infuse them with spells that would allow them to protect their tombs, even after death. I have no idea why one of them would be acting so malevolently. Perhaps Drognan or Farah would know more about this.
Now that Andariel is dead, I can return and outfit the rogues properly. Once I've made some trades here, I'll be free to head back to their monastery. Let me know if you want to travel along. That old desert fox L6 is as crafty as they come. Years back, he made off with a small fortune of my caravan's wares. I certainly never expected to see him so domesticated. I've heard tales of walking corpses out in the desert at night, though I've never actually seen one.
You may not pass. You look like a sturdy adventurer. You know, I used to be quite the scoundrel in my day. I led the fiercest group of bandits who ever terrorized these sands. Nowadays, I run this here inn and pretty much stay out of trouble. My days of adventuring are behind me. That Lysander's a grumpy old cuss. You'd better not disturb him while he's working on his potions, or boom, you could get blasted to the moon. I hear that the creature kills his victims in order to hack off their limbs. I guess that makes me a less likely candidate, eh?
I'll bet you wonder how this town manages to stay safe with all the trouble going on out in the desert. Well, I can tell you that it's got nothing to do with the local town guards. They're all in the palace for some reason. Jaren hired me and my mercenaries to help keep the peace around here. We're not cheap, but we're the best this wasteland has to offer. Drognan's a mystery to me. Then again, I never did trust mages much. I've personally found some of that devil's victims washed up out of the sewer. Often they are missing limbs or a head, and their bodies have always been skinned. At first, the creature raided the town at night. That's how Atma lost her family. Now we've got him barricaded in the sewers. You're safe up here on the surface, but every now and again, some fool wants to be a hero and heads down to the waste tunnels with a pig sticker.
How do I know I can trust you, You may be as shifty as that pack rat Elzix who runs the inn. But if you need a potion, though, I suppose I can make you one. For a price, of course. Potions are delicate mixtures. They're just as liable to go off in your face as anything. Huh? Peppermint? Oh, Radamant. Oh, yes. Oh, a foul creature. Some of my exploding potions should do quite nicely against him. They usually work well against the undead.
Blessings to you.
Tell me your troubles.
What a misguided monster. I can't carry anymore.
Greetings. They say that the taste of vengeance is bittersweet, but I find it to my liking. In addition to my undying gratitude, I have spoken on your behalf with the rest of the townspeople. The merchants have agreed to show their gratitude by offering their wares and services at lower rates. Oh, Jaren wants to see you too. You'll find him in front of the palace. They say that the taste of vengeance is bittersweet, but I find it to my liking. In addition to my undying gratitude, I have...
Not in town.
The lost Horodric scroll! What a fortunate turn of events! As the last living Horodrim, I alone have knowledge of its meaning. Now, to read the Horodric runes it bears. The Horodric mages, after binding Bale within Tal Rasha, magically sealed off his burial chamber from the mortal realm. Those same mages also crafted fearsome Horodric staves, and imbued them with the special power to open the chamber's hidden door. After nearly losing one to the thievery of a rogue sorcerer, they divided all the Horodric staves into two parts, wooden shaft and metal headpiece, hiding them separately to safeguard them. The Horodrim foresaw our current plight and designed the hiding places to reveal themselves to worthy heroes like you. Collect both parts of a Horodric staff and unite them using a Horodric cube. Then you may enter Tal Rasha's burial chamber. If you haven't already, tell Atma that Radamant is dead. It may help to ease the weight of her mourning. Mischief is an interesting man. Part of him longs for the freedom of the open seas, yet his heart belongs in his homeland.
There's no trouble a mug can't cure. Oh, Lysander is cranky, but he's a good old man. He used to give me medicines when my son was ill.
I don't know why you people keep pestering me. Grays seems to have this place locked down nice and tight. Not that I couldn't have done the same. I've proven my valor in combat plenty of times. Yeah, mischief's okay, I guess. But I'll be damned if I ever get on a ship. I don't even like to drink water. Whoa, whoa. Radamant the Fallen, is it? I've fallen off many a bar stool, and no one calls me Geglash the Fallen. I might go so far as to say, Geglash, you've fallen.
Greetings. Geglash is too confident in his abilities. A warrior's true strength is in his heart. As you have helped Atma and all of us, so shall I help you.
Hello. Ah, the sweetest desert flower. That's Atma. Even my strongest brew can't bring back her family, though.
Good day. Caravans take people where they want to go, until they get there. Atma's been telling everyone what you've done for her.
Welcome, young sorceress, to Lut Gholein. I hope your skills are a match for the horrors that lie beyond the city's walls. A mage of your limited experience may find the evil too great to withstand alone. My name is Drognan, and I know what you're up against, my friend. You ought to look over my inventory of items for trade. Demons have spread throughout the desert wasteland and threaten to engulf our quiet port city. From what you tell me, it would seem that Rodamant was bent on the task of reviving his own mummified corpse with the flesh of the living. This is very unusual indeed. It takes an incredible magic power to alter the singular purpose of an undead mind. Perhaps there is a power at work here, which is beyond my ken.
Who goes there? We do a good job in town, but beyond the city gates, you'll find all manner of demons. You've killed Rodamant, eh? That's quite a nice piece of work. If you ever need a job as a mercenary, I'd be happy to sign you up.
Welcome to the Desert Rain. Mashif is a wise captain, I think. Wise enough to know silver from tin and truth from dung, that's for sure. We ran into one of those old tomb guardians when I ran with my bandits. I know they aren't easy foes to face, so you sure have my respect. Have you told Atma yet?
Hello. I have heard of your many deeds of skill and bravery. I feel I can trust you with something I have been hesitant to speak of. Drognan and I have concluded that the Dark Wanderer who passed through here recently was Diablo himself. Drognan believes that Diablo is searching the desert for the secret tomb where the great Horadric mage Tal Rasha keeps Baal imprisoned. You must find Diablo and put an end to the terrible evil that has fallen upon our city. Drognan is wise and is sure to have some helpful advice for you as to how Tal Rasha's tomb may be found. It may take you quite some time to find the tomb. May you be ready when you do. Mashif is an honorable man, but I fear that he is growing impatient with me about impounding his ship. I dare not tell him what's really happening in this city. For trade in magic and the like, see Drognan or Lysander. Drognan is the wisest man I know, without equal in magic and ancient lore. Poor Lysander is nearly deaf, but he's a reliable potion chemist. For travel back west, see Wariv, whom you already know. Our own Farah is a fine and honest armorer, and she can heal wounds as well. Elzix is the innkeeper, and may also have some items to trade. Grays, the mercenary captain I hired to secure the gates of Lut Gholein, keeps order in town as well. There are others here too. I'm sure you'll meet most of them. Just look around.
You may not pass.
I can't carry anymore. I can't carry. Not enough mana. I am overburdened.
Hello. You have quite a treasure there in that Horadric cube. According to Horadric lore, the cube can restore a Horadric staff. To do it, use the cube as you would a scroll. When the cube opens, place both pieces of the staff into it and use the cube's transmute power. You'll be pleased to know that the cube has other alchemical uses as well. 6 gems plus 1 sword transmute into a socketed longsword. You may also transmute 2 quivers of crossbow bolts into 1 quiver of arrows, while 2 quivers of arrows yield 1 quiver of bolts. I must leave it to you to discover other formulae. There is something about Farah that troubles me. Her manner is strange for a lonely desert maid. Diablo nears his goal. We have little time to lose. Remember, my friend, that Andariel gave herself willingly to Diablo's cause. It would be prudent to assume that the other evils will attempt to aid their master as well. You have quite a treasure there in that Horod.
It is an honor to serve you. Braze is a fine warrior and leader, but in his heart he will always be a mercenary for hire. I cannot be loyal to those who have no loyalty to themselves. Legend has it that Tal Rasha lies imprisoned within his tomb, forever struggling to keep the Lord of Destruction bound. His was a selfless act, although perhaps foolhardy.
Good day. Potions are delicate mixtures. They're just as liable to go off in your face as anything. When Tal Rasha chose to embody the spirit of Baal, he knew his doom was to wrestle eternally against the will of the greater evil. Look around you and ask yourself, has the battle been won or lost?
Hello. This public house used to be quite lively, until this plague of evil. Luckily, I've managed to save away a tidy nest egg. Unfortunately, I couldn't save everything I cared for. I've heard legends of the tomb of Tal Rasha, but I thought they were just old tales meant to scare young children.
Good day. I've seen Farah defend herself against a few drunken ruffians. She's got moves I've never even seen before. Wherever she's from, she sure learned how to fight there. Oh, I'd go with you to those tombs, but, I don't like all that living dead stuff.
Where can I take you? There used to be a lot of brothels here. I guess the trouble scared all the women away. Or maybe they're safe in Jaren's palace. Be very careful, my friend. I think I've seen enough recently not to doubt that these tombs exist. And if they do, they are most certainly guarded by terrible creatures.
Yes? When you arrived, Wariv's caravan had been long overdue. With all of the evil that's arisen in the land, I'm surprised you got through it all. It is well known that there are 7 great Horadric tombs hidden beneath the sands in the furthest reaches of the desert. One of them surely must be Talrasha's prison. You must explore each of the tombs to find Talrasha's exact location. Of course, Diablo is searching for the tomb as well. No one can guess as to what terrors he has unleashed in his search.
You may not pass.
Not in town.
Hi there. That Lysander's a grumpy old cuss. You'd better not disturb him while he's working on his potions, or boom, you could get blasted to the moon. So, you're going to search for the 7 tombs, huh? Don't you know that they're just desert legends, passed between merchants and travelers? No one really believes that they exist.
Who goes there? I'd stay clear of Lysander if I were you. He's always mixing his damn potions and chemicals. I wouldn't be surprised if he winds up blowing himself to smithereens. If you're going into the deep desert, why not hire a few of my men to watch your back?
Good day. Many of the mage clans feel that women shouldn't practice magic openly. But since you've made it this far, I must say that you have proven your right to do so. Talrasha's tomb is hidden deep in the desert among 6 others. Talrasha's symbol marks the true tomb. If you want to know what that symbol is, you should be able to find it within the legendary Arcane Sanctuary.
Not enough mana.
Hello. There is something about Farah that troubles me. Her manner is strange for a lonely desert maid. Drognan may have some advice on this matter. I think I'll speak with him myself.
Good day. This unnatural nightfall is no doubt caused by evil sorcery. Drognan might know what we are dealing with.
Greetings. Drognan the wizard will have some idea as to what is happening.
Let me buy you a drink. This whole place is one big ale fog.
There's nothing the right portion can't cure. Claw vipers. This outer darkness mirrors the inner blackness of their souls. It is they who have eclipsed the sun, I'll wager. They are a venomous band.
Your presence honors me. The sun has grown disgusted with the terrible deeds it must shine upon each day. Damnation is upon us all.
Greetings. My astrologers failed to predict this eclipse. You should seek Drognan's advice.
Welcome to the Desert Rain. Two men arrived late last night bearing a story about evil magic. They said they saw a gathering of giant snake creatures performing some arcane ritual. They sound like the serpent men of the desert.
Good evening. This midday darkness reeks of foul magic. My men and I are trying to keep the peace, but this kind of thing really scares people.
Hello. I've been researching this lengthy eclipse, and I believe it to be the work of claw vipers. Find their temple beneath the desert sands, and you may find the source of this curse. Mashif and his vessel should remain here, lest we risk taking demonic stowaways to other lands.
I need mana. Not enough mana. I can't carry anymore.
Greetings. The Staff of Kings. You astound me, my friend. You have discovered the shaft portion of a Horadric staff. I trust you know how to use a Horadric cube to unite the shaft with its headpiece.
Who would have thought that such primitive beings could cause so much trouble?
Hello. You have done well to restore light to our world.
The Viper amulet you bear is actually the headpiece of a Horadric staff. Yes, you have an uncanny knack for finding rare and valuable artifacts. Of course, you'll have to use a Horadric cube to combine the headpiece with the shaft.
Good day. Drogman seems to have taken you into his confidence. This is good, for you will benefit from his wisdom.
Greetings. Oh, claw vipers are fond of magical artifacts. Did you happen to find one in their temple?
Where can I take you? With renewed daylight, one may gather the wits that were scattered about like restrictive undergarments in the darkness.
Hey there. So this is daylight. It's overrated.
Please state your business. The sun again shines on Lut Gholein. I'm beginning to like you, traveler.
You may not pass. Hello. It takes but one eye to revel in the beauty of our restored sun.
Need some help? I'm glad that's over with.
I've been researching the old records, trying to find the location of Tal Rasha's tomb. Though I haven't found the tomb itself, I may have a good lead for you. The great Vigerai summoner, Horizon, built his arcane sanctuary somewhere around here. He was a powerful spellcaster and kept demons as slaves within the sanctuary. He kept a close eye on great events too, such as the imprisonment of Baal within Tal Rasha's tomb. If you could find Horizon's sanctuary, I'm sure that it would hold some clue as to the tomb's location. Though I doubt Horizon is still alive, you must proceed with caution. There's no telling what could be waiting inside. When I spoke of this with Lord Jaren, he asked that I send you to him. Perhaps he knows of a secret entrance or the like. You did well in destroying the Claw Vipers. We are all glad to see the sun return to its former glory. I've been researching the old records, trying to find the location of Tal Rasha's tomb.
Tell me your troubles.
Greeting. When the troubles began here, I allowed the terrified harem guilds to join me within the safety of the palace. All was fine until one night. Screams echoed up the stairwells from the harem. My guards arrived to find the poor girls being slaughtered by a merciless band of hell-spawned demons. My brave guardsmen tried to push the demons back into the mysterious rift from which they came. Ever since, my men have fought a losing battle. Demons have continued to pour through the rift into the palace. Ultimately, I hired Graze and his mercenaries to help protect the rest of my fair city. Drognin believes that the arcane sanctuary lies buried underneath this palace, since Lut-Gholein occupies the site of an ancient Vigerai fortress. My palace is open to you now. Take care. When the troubles began here, I allowed the terrified harem guilds to join me within the safety of the palace. All was fine until one night. Screams echoed up the stairwells from the harem. My guard...
You may enter the palace. An arcane sanctuary under the palace? I'd heard that there were some underground cellar levels that Jaren used as chambers for his treasure and such, but no arcane sanctuary.
The only thing in Jera's cellar are the harem girls that have been hiding there since the troubles began.
Greetings. Nearly 1,000 years ago, Horizon rose to the fore of the Vigerai mage clan. Horizon used the knowledge of the Vigerai to summon and control demons from hell. Though a powerful summoner, Horizon feared that the lords of hell would punish him for enslaving their brethren. Thus, the summoner created for himself an arcane sanctuary. He believed that his sanctuary would not only protect him from hell's vengeance, but also allow him to continue his studies free from the ravages of time and disease. Horizon had crafted many wondrous scrying devices through which he observed the events of the world outside. It is certain that he took careful study of Tal Rasha's imprisonment and recorded the location of his forgotten tomb. The arcane sanctuary was believed to have been constructed here, in Lut-Gholein. An entrance may be hidden somewhere in the palace, as that building is very old and was once a Vigieri fortress.
Hello. I very much doubt that Horizon still lives in his sanctuary. He possessed great power and influence over demons, but even that may not have been enough in the end. One of his notoriety cannot easily remove himself from the vengeful reach of hell. Excellent. You have a Horadric staff. Carry it with you into Talrash's tomb. Find within the tomb the chamber whose floor is inset with the circle of 7 symbols. Place the staff into the receptacle you find there. That will open the secret passage into Talrash's burial chamber. But be prepared for a fight. You'll likely have to kill Talrasha to destroy Baal.
The ancient mage Horizon. He believed that he could bend evil forces to his will. What he didn't know was that evil uses man, not the reverse. The Vigieri still revere him as a symbol of man's ability to triumph over otherworldly forces. The Church of Light, however, cites him as an example of man's folly.
Horizon found it necessary to lock himself up for all time, just to protect himself from those angry demons. Such is the fate of one who practices the summoning arts. That or eternal damnation. There's old summoners and bold summoners, but no old, bold summoners.
A careful caravan gives wide berth to sleeping bandits. If Horizon is gone, let him remain so.
Arcane Sanctuary. That place sounds awful. Even if you find a way into it, what makes you think you'll be able to leave again?